Do you really want to be a landlord? Before you invest in real estate, you must think carefully about whether you wish to be a landlord and deal with all the related commitments and responsibilities. Buying a property and renting it is not the same as just buying a stock and sitting back and collecting the dividends. Remember, having an investment property is just like owning a business and comes with all the responsibilities of running such a business. Consider the alternatives. Carefully consider investment alternatives for your cash, especially if you plan on being a more passive investor. The opportunity costs may simply be too great. For example, dividend yields on broad equity indices are approximately the same as cap rates on most Manhattan rental properties. However, buying an S&P 500 ETF comes with zero responsibilities and an effectively 0% expense ratio. In contrast, being a landlord means you'll have no way to opt out of property taxes that increase virtually every year and are typically at least 1% of the market value. Buy a home that you would live in. Only buy a place that you yourself wouldn't mind living in. That's because if all else fails, you can move in and live there yourself. You'll be intimately familiar with the property that you're renting out, and you'll know every nook and cranny, and you'll be able to explain to your tenant how best to make use of the apartment and how to maintain it. Wait for a buyer's market. Real estate investing for beginners doesn't need to be hard if you simply wait for large-scale market disruptions, such as what we saw during the Great Financial Crisis of 2007-2008. As Baron Rothschilds once said, "The time to buy is when there's blood in the streets." While you may not need to wait until there's an actual war that appears to be lost, you should perk up when there is widespread market panic. Why? Because it's so much easier not to get ripped off as a novice investor when the whole market is for sale. Choose an experienced buyer's agent. It's important to work with a veteran real estate agent who can guide you through the home purchase process, especially when you're a beginner when it comes to real estate investing. The last thing you'll want is to work with a friend or acquaintance who is as green as you are when it comes to real estate. Not only will that invariably lead to poor outcomes, it more often than not leads to broken friendships. Negotiate a buyer closing credit. One of the best ways to juice your returns is to sign up for a buyer closing credit, which is a split of your buyer agent's commission. Remember that the seller typically pays a commission of 6% of the purchase price, which is split equally if the buyer has their own agent. This means your buyer's agent stands to earn 3% of your purchase price on any transaction. You can sign up to work with an experienced, traditional local broker through Hauseit, who has already agreed to give you back $20,000 to $40,000 of the buyer agent fee on the average New York City sale. This can be used to cover your closing costs or simply given back to you as a check post-closing. Hire an attorney that specializes in real estate. Besides your buyer's broker, the most important member of your team is your real estate attorney. Make sure you work with an attorney based in your city who specializes in real estate transactions.